Um, Somebody said something about Arlington. Where'd it go? Does Rod know about the Carrington event? It was a solar flare that scared the government in 1859.
Yeah, they just had a similar event. It was like a 3-hour solar flare about a week ago. So yeah, I'm familiar with it. It also it killed a lot of cattle. It caused fires and all kind of shit. Yeah.
Okay. Since that was a quick one, the last one is the last name Kiote, Kiote. Do you have any idea of its origin?
Spell it again.
Kiote.
Coyote. That's an indigenous name. That's actually the tribe whose totem is the coyote.
Mm.
And it's spelled that way, and it sounds like coyote or coyote, but it's a tribe. It's not the animal. So when they did the translation, they connected them by homonyms. Sounded like words. But if you look up indigenous man wearing a coyote pelt, it's just a smaller clan than the Wolf Clan. But the totems are similar because they have a similar tribal nature.
This is not really a question, and this is it. She said, look at IKEA. Look at IKEA. They named the furniture after kidnapped children. And
yes, you're right. That's IKEA was one of the ways they were using to traffic in plain sight. IKEA, the dark web, there's a couple more of them, Wayfair. Yeah, so they had ways that they was trading and auctioning off children in real time without us ever knowing what they doing. That's why the FBI had to release the symbol of they pedophile symbols. Because if the symbol was on a pizza joint and the pizza joint had a basement, they would come in through the back door, go to the basement of the pizza joint and pick the child they want. And they might have come directly from that neighborhood. But all of that stuff is connected, right, to the cabal. The cabal is the shadow government of conquistadors that was running everything from secret because they didn't want to be seen, because the last time they were seen, they caused a major disturbance and they was getting their ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
So they kept themselves secret and used what we call blood shields, cat's paws, to do their bidding in the public domain. And that's why they came over here with the white supremacist doctrine of free white people in law, using pale-faced Europeans to block institutions from the organic indigenous people of this land. So we never knew what they was doing in secret. If we didn't know what they was doing in secret, we couldn't make a contingency for it. So we had to call a whole bunch of people from Europe to overrun their institutions with friendly pale faces that didn't believe in racism. And that's why you always heard them, certain Europeans were like, why are you angry at us? It was your own people that done it to you. Them people are not our people. They just look like us. But the people that don't look like us can't tell the difference because we can't hardly tell the difference. And a good litmus test to show you what I'm talking about is pull up Denmark Vesey and find out who betrayed his revolution. Pull up Gabriel Prosser and find out who betrayed him, right? And when you do that, you're going to see it was somebody melanated. And then it was a pale face telling them how to get free.
Just the last one it's just the last name, EMBRA. Does that hold any significance to an indigenous tribe?
I'm not familiar with that name. I never heard it before.
Okay.
But the other one I had heard before, the one that sounded like coyote.
Yeah. Well, y'all asked really good questions today. Well, in the comments previously, and then the questions that have been coming in that we're going to say for another day were real good. I gotta update my description on this one because I had put all your contact information in both your Instagrams, your Cash App. So let me state right now. He does not do this for money, nor does he ask for money, but to show gratitude for taking time out of his day. If anybody can make a donation, his Cash App is $, capital SIK, capital APE, SikApe, on Cash App. Show love, gratitude. Happy Father's Day to you. Enjoy your day. I appreciate you coming out and building with me in the tribe, and you have a great one.
All right. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you.
Subject to discrimination and exploitation, and their rights are often not as well protected as those of treaty tribes. Here are some specific references to how non-treaty tribes were dealt with in early American law.
Okay, you want to go to the next one?
Yeah, go to the next one. Okay, these are the references. The Indian Removal Act of 1830. The act authorized the president to remove Native American tribes from their ancestral lands in the Southeast and relocate them to Oklahoma. Stop. Before we go any further, why did they do that? Why did they start expatriating us from the Southeast and relocating us to Oklahoma?
Shit, maybe
we got to remember.
Or whatever. I don't know. Go ahead.
We was fighting the Gullah Wars.
Oh yeah. Okay, all right. Go ahead. I remember this.
Okay, so now they gotta get as many of us out of the war zone as possible. But while we fighting them, they got tribes making agreements with them.
Go ahead.
We ain't them. We not them tribes. That's why they call us gangs. Gangs is the legal jargon for tribes so that they can use their war rants called warrants to come in and seize anybody that they consider as a savage on the land.
Damn, bro. Go ahead. I like the way you put that. Warrants.
That's what it say.
Yeah, that's what
it's an ongoing declaration of war.
That's right. Go ahead.
Okay, then they came out in 1887 with the Dawes Act. This act broke up tribal land holdings and allotted individual plots of land to Native Americans. The goal was to assimilate Native Americans into American society. They did a piss poor job of that because we know who the fuck we is. The Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, this act reversed many of the provisions of the Dawes Act and restored some tribal self-government. The Indian Self-Determination and Education Assistance Act, this act gave Native American tribes more control over their own affairs. But look what it's called, Self-Determination and Education Assistance Act. So what this is doing, in part of self-determination, is to control your own educational output.
That's right.
Right. So let's go to the next one. Okay, so it say the treatment of non-treaty tribes in early American law was often unjust and discriminatory. However, the rights of non-treaty tribes have been strengthened in recent years. The Supreme Court has issued a number of rulings that have protected the rights of non-treaty tribes, and Congress has passed laws that have restored some tribal self-government. Right? So this is for the civilized tribes. to acknowledge that they given some acknowledgement to what we call non-treaty tribes. Right? Now, this is Article 77 of the Iroquois Constitution. A grandfathered clause piece of law. We used to know this by memory, like those kids quote the Quran.
Yeah.
We used to know this by memory. We didn't have it wrote down, but we end up getting it written down prior to the arrival of the Constitution.
Okay.
The Constitution was extracted from these documents, the Iroquois Confederation Constitution. Article 77 say when the lords of the Confederacy decide to admit a foreign nation and adoption is made. Now, this is supposed to be from the 5 civilized tribes.
Okay.
But remember, you inherit the chief right of the chief land that you dwell on from historical record.
Okay.
I inherit the war chief status from Chief Pontiac.
Okay.
By blood and by right. Right? I'm recognized in law as an outlaw tribe called a gang.
Right. Go ahead.
Right?
Write it down.
Right. So now it said when the lords of the Confederacy decide to admit a foreign nation and adoption is made, the lords shall inform the adoption nation that its admission is only temporary. That means that you can't be here forever.
Go ahead.
You come try your little system out, but if it don't work, it's going to come a time when you're going to have to go. It's only temporary. Why? They shall also say to the nation that it must never try to control, to interfere with, or to injure the 5 nations, nor disregard the great peace of any of its rules or customs.
Go ahead.
This in no way should they cause disturbance or injury. God damn, they've been fucking us up. They sure didn't pay this no attention.
Right.
Scroll down some.
I got you.
It says, then should the adopted nation. It say, then should the adopted nation disregard these injunctions, their adoption shall be annulled and they shall be expelled. Right? Now, the next part is critical because this is how you go back to your oral tradition when we severing the contracts with the captors. The expulsion shall be in the following manner. The council shall appoint one of their war chiefs to convey the message on annulment, and he shall say, you, O United States of America corporate legal fiction, listen to me while I speak. I am here to inform you again of the will of the 5 Nations Council. It will clearly made known to you at a former time. Now the lords of the 5 nations have decided to expel you and cast you out. We disown you now and annul your adoption. Therefore, you must look for a path in which to go and lead away all your people. Scroll down some more.
I got you.
It was you, not we, who committed wrong and caused this sentence of annulment. So then go your way and depart from the territory of the 5 nations and from the Confederacy. Now, this was only for the 5 nations, but because it was written prior to, another war chief can use this and activate it by just reading it in the public domain, time stamped and dated for the public to see. Because this right here. To win 100 victories in 100 battles is not the supreme of excellence. To subdue the enemy without fighting is the supreme of excellence. I don't have to lift a finger. That's why Larry said we brain banging, not gang banging, or I would have had the streets riled up by now, riding down on the government with AKs ablazing. This is not how this is supposed to go.
Go ahead,
It's a thinking man's game, and I'm walking y'all through the thought pattern.
Go ahead. You saying a lot, Rod.
Let me breathe for a minute. Play Big Mama. Let Big Mama tell him something.
and advisor to Elizabeth I, and spent much of his time on alchemy. You know what I'm saying? Magic. You know, the divination, the Hermes philosophy.
Medics. Yeah.
Yeah, and anti-Quarian. He had one of the largest libraries in England at the time. Born July 13, 1527, London, United Kingdom. Died December 68. I mean 1608.
So the wine that they broke was the one he gave Elizabeth I that they passed down. The only way they can break it is to admit that the blood contract over here been broke. Right. That's why they'll be showing you all this stuff in the open, but it's the symbolism of the secret societies that we don't know what they doing. So while they showing it to us in our face, we don't know what it means. Right? I'm just telling everybody what it means and showing them where to find key information. They got whole volumes of books on this dude.
Wow. Wow. What time is it? We still good. We're only about an hour in. Now, hold up.
So that was another elder telling y'all the same thing I've been saying. That lady don't know me from Iraq and Iraq.
Go ahead.
But she know the same thing from reading the culture that I know. This shit is over. And it's right now, we just trying to get the information to get to critical mass awareness of the change in the system to go on and push it on over the edge. But we got to get all of the ones with contracts the opportunity to abandon the contract with the corporation so that they not held as accomplices to the fraud. We don't want our own people. We don't want our own people to get caught up in the cleanup and get caught in the blind. They don't know. So trying to do business with the corporation, the worst thing you can be doing right now, because the only thing left is the deep state actors.
Oh yeah, this is what I was going to ask you, bro. Because this right here might tie into what you're talking about. Now the government they in this big ass debt, trillions of dollars, right? But why are they trying to offer us money? $6,000, $600. Where they getting this money from? Why are they trying to offer us money to sign a deal with the government? Why I want to sign a deal with the government? You know what I'm saying?
Because they need those contracts.
This ties back into the system. Is that part of the game?
Yeah, that's what it's for. That's what it's for. Once it collapses, that's when we get the blackout. The blackout is the signal that the old system is finally dead.
Okay.